the ANC and the IEC. Let us talk about it. Welcome to Cool Bars TV. Welcome back to another video. Well, guys, you know a lot is being said out there in these few hours that we've been all waiting to see. The announce of the final result of this election that took place in South Africa, as the IEC, they're still preparing to announce this final result. We are seeing a lot from the political parties, a lot of dramas that are taking place right now. We are seeing a lot of contests. We are seeing a lot of conflicts among the class of politicians. And we feel like it is about time we come and sit here and try to discuss this with you through our analysis. As you saw it for yourself in our title, that Jacob Zuma is actually taking his revenge on the president of the ANC, President Ramaphosa, and the entire ANC members that have been in conflict for some times now. And looking at how things are going, or looking at how things are standing right now on the table, things are getting even more ugly between the ANC and the MK. Well, in this video, guys, we will talk more about it in details because yesterday we also the former president of South Africa, President Jacob Zuma, who had to come, he came also to give his point of view on this result that we are all seeing on the dashboard there in Midrand at the IEC. The result, which we all know that Jacob Zuma with the MK, they came out as the winner actually of these elections. In other words, because the result that we are seeing that the MK come with, it is a result that no one expected for a political party which came to an existence for 4 months ago, yet they are standing number 3 in this election. In other words, they are becoming as the third biggest political party in South Africa. They even replaced the EFF of Julius Malema, which dropped their number of their votes in these elections. Again, we'll discuss more about it in this video. So the result that the MK came out with, it is kind of the result that no one was expecting it, because no one sees this coming. We had recreated some of the footage and the interview of different high class in the ANC members who came also and testify saying that we were not expecting all this. They were not expecting that the MK will come out with this kind of result. Of course, it is normal for them to see it that way because they did everything they could have done in their power to destroy the MK of Jacob Zuma by trying to put Jacob Zuma down, by trying to fight Jacob Zuma in the war of politics and take him inside the courts and use the IEC to come and even take Zuma to court until when Zuma was disqualified to be part of the parliament members. And with all this being said, these people, they had one thing in mind of starting already celebrating and or hoping that people who are supposed to be voting for Zuma, they'll go ahead and vote for the ANC or any other political party. Unfortunately for them, that did not happen. Why? Because the image that Zuma had attached to MK, it was kind of the image that it was not going to be that easy for any politician to come and remove it or delete it from in the mind of people. People, when they see MK, they were seeing Jacob Zuma as the founder of this political party and no more like a movement as we used to know it. People, when they talk about MK, They were seeing Zuma's mind behind all this. They considered Zuma as the mastermind for this political party to come to its existence. And all this took place, or it was happening, when there were already a lot of conflicts among the ANC. The ANC that's supposed to be united by making peace among themselves as members of the ANC, by trying to do what we call reconciliation of their membership. Unfortunately, they could not be able to do that. So, the more they keep on neglecting some of the ANC members, and here we're talking about such people as S. Makashule. There are so many of them. Some of them, they went to EFF. Some of them, they were just out there, and they did not even know which political party they have to join. Or some of them, they were still within the ANC, but yet their mind is out already. Or some of them also still inside the ANC, yet they're not wanting to be part of the leadership that is taking place right now within the ANC. So now, seeing Jacob Zuma coming out and announcing this new political party, of course, this was a very big opportunity for most of these people who were tired of the current leadership of the ANC to start putting their support over there. And remember again, people who end up voting for the MK, if you look very well, most of them in the previous election in 2019, they did not vote for the ANC. They end up voting for other political parties, such as the EFF and many more other political parties around the country. These people, it's not that they hate the ANC, it's not that they don't want to vote for the ANC, but it's just because, according to them, they had feel like it is enough for them to be dealing with this kind of treatment. Some of them, they are accusing the current leadership of the ANC, saying that they are working at their own advantage. They don't consider what could be the benefit of people of South Africa, especially the one of ANC as the biggest political party since the apartheid regime. So these people, they were out there, but they did not know to which political party they have to vote. So when Zuma come and announced this MK, this was a good opportunity for these people to go out there and put their votes for the MK. Proof to that, yesterday we play you the press conference which the president of EFF, Julius Malema, when he was busy briefing the media. He said that people who supposed to be voting for him, people that he had counted the most, they end up voting for the MK, because it is now more obvious that these people, when they first voted for the EFF, they did not vote for the EFF because they were in love with EFF or because they like Malema or because of what. No. These people, they had voted for the EFF because they had no other choice, because the political party which they were counting in, such as the ANC, could not be at their profit or at their service, and they feel disappointed. Actually, these are the kind of people who were disappointed in how the ANC, they've been leading or doing things around. Therefore, these people, they end up feeling like, okay, no, we rather go and vote for another political party. And surprise, they choose to go and vote for the EFF. Now that Jacob Zuma, who came and said that, okay, fine, I'm now here with a political party which I believe you guys can give me your vote. He represents himself as number one of MK, political party. We also what happened, they had to eliminate him from this race, and then people end up voting the MK, regardless of what they had said. So people end up demonstrating what they are capable of, regardless of what the court can say about Jacob Zuma, regardless of how many people are trying to destroy Jacob Zuma. Remember, we are talking about the same Jacob Zuma who came in the Orlando. The stadium, the one in Soweto, Orlando, who went there in front of thousands of people. They were expecting him maybe to show up the manifesto of MK, but he went there and just to tell people that we don't have manifesto. Actually, it is you people of South Africa who are manifestos. So if you have to choose us or elect us, well, we are going to do exactly what you want us to do for you. While we all know that all these political parties, they came out with their manifesto trying to challenge one another. This one said that I will create 4 million jobs. Another one said that 3. Another one said 2. Another one said that no, me I will stop crime. Me I will do this. Me I will do that. As we all know, those are the kind of the speech which politicians like to give in most of the time during the campaign. But the problem is to fulfill all these promises. But here comes Jacob Zuma, who did not even want to tell people of South Africa about what could be their manifesto. He could finish an entire speech from the beginning until the end without opening any book or any laptop or iPad in order for him to deliver something that they had prepared among this political party. That's already, it was a big warning, and we did spoke about it. We did say that this should be something that the ANC, they should open their eyes and understand what is up to happen or what is up to come. Because the moment when Jacob Zuma starts giving that press conference, he was giving it in the way whereby he had to speak the language that people usually speak. Because remember, there is what we call politician language, which is kind of like a diplomat language, and there is what we call people's language. People talk without having taboo. People talk without getting care. They speak their mind. If they are complaining about water shedding, load shedding, unemployment, all those kind of things, people talk. They don't beat around the bush. They express themselves more freely. And that's what Jacob Zuma did that day. But instead of the ANC trying to understand exactly what kind of trap was Jacob Zuma trying to use there, they kind of like neglecting Jacob Zuma, especially after the court gave its final decision saying that Jacob Zuma is not going to be participating in these elections. For them, they had felt like they have won because they managed at least to remove Jacob Zuma from the race. And they were hoping that, okay, now that Jacob Zuma is out, which means people are supposed to be voting for him, they're still going to come back to the ANC. Forgetting that Jacob Zuma, coming up with an idea of having a new political party such as the MK, he had put his fingerprint on that political party. He's the founder of this political party. Whether it's financially, whether it's morally, in everything, Zuma knew already what he was doing. In the previous interview of Jacob Zuma that he gave to one of the local media that we play you on this channel called Buzz TV, Zuma himself, he had to explain on how he started this political party within the ANC. Zuma started having this new MK political party when he was still in the ANC. But the ANC, they failed to not understanding what was happening. For them, they were all just neglecting Jacob Zuma. They were like, no, the old man, he have a lot on his table. He have to go to the court. He have to do this. And here on our side, they're just neglecting him, like forgetting who's Jacob Zuma. You know, the looting which took place the time when Jacob Zuma was arrested, that should be a very big warning to the ANC. That you should understand, like you can be within, all of you can be within the ANC, but who have big impact on other ANC members. And I think that looting that took place that day when Zuma was arrested should have been a very big recall for the ANC to understand that they are not dealing with a small boy. They are dealing with a person who have a very big influence, whether it is on the youth, young ones, whether it is on the old people. Zuma is well loved. Whether we like it or not, that is one thing. We should make peace with it. Young ones love Zuma. Old ones love Zuma. Regardless of what we can accuse him of, regardless of what we don't like about him. But one thing for sure is that we should have not ever neglected someone such as Jacob Zuma. Now, for the fact that they neglected Jacob Zuma, forgetting what his influence have done the moment when he was arrested. I don't recall Jacob Zuma taking the camera and addressing people around South Africa saying that, guys, since I'm about to be arrested, if anyone tries to touch me, you guys should go out there and loot everything around the country. No. But people with their own conscience, they had to decide to demonstrate their angers on their private, on the private business, government, manufacturers, different parties. People had to go and revolt themselves against the government. That already should have been something that each and every political party will have already understand that, yes, we thought Zuma was old, we thought Zuma was finished, but seems like this man is still very good. And start considering this kind of a person. But they neglect Jacob Zuma. Before I continue with more analysis about this, I want us first to understand how did even things get to this point. Because we need at least to have this, we need to know about this, so that even our children, when they grow up tomorrow, they can be able to trace up the whole matters, like how did things get to this point? How can someone such as Jacob Zuma, after all these years that he spent in the ANC, in one of his words, I listened to himself saying that I'll give my life for the ANC. Jacob Zuma was well known as a defender of the ANC. Whether the ANC they are doing good or bad, but he was well known as one of the people who had wear the ANC on their body. And all the suddenly, this is the same man who's coming today telling us that, no, look, I'm no longer part of this. Especially the ANC, the one of Ramaphosa, as he called it himself. Everything started because of the kind of agreement which the current president of the ANC, President Cyril Ramaphosa, and former President Jacob Zuma, they had back then. These are the kind of the agreement which is supposed to be respected. But again, as you know, politicians, they'll promise you one thing today and tomorrow they will do otherwise. Jacob Zuma, before he left the office as the president of South Africa, according to himself, he had said it a couple of times, saying that he took his time to sit down and reflect and think over and over again to just see if he have done something wrong in order for him to leave the office. And according to him, he said that he have not done nothing wrong. The men end up understanding that it was all political games, and there are some people who had this kind of conflict against him since the time of apartheid because of everything that Zuma have done in his fight as a politician. These are the same people who are coming up on me in a very hard way. They want to destroy me. So Zuma was left without no choice than to make a choice, either to step down and be well protected by the ANC, or to stay in power by force and being disowned by the ANC members. And as we all know that according to the constitution of this country, if you are being removed in power by motion of no confidence, you as the head of the state, you must know that you'll lose all your benefits, all your salaries that they're supposed to be paying you after you have left the office as the president of the country, all your benefits and small things for your children, you will lose everything, because they'll use that motion of no confidence in you and saying that no, you were removed in power by force. Now, Zuma had to look about all this because he have also big responsibility. So the man, he decided to step down, like to step aside and let someone in. And that person was President Ramaphosa, back then, as he used to be the deputy president of the ANC. After he left the office, we also saw what started happening to Jacob Zuma. One moment he had to appear inside the court with the different allegations. And when he was going through all this, he asked for help. And the first help that former President Jacob Zuma did ask was to get the money that he's supposed to be paying his lawyers. And he could not get enough help and support from the ANC. Since then, that became a serious problem now. Zuma felt like he was all abandoned. No one was even trying to help him out or to give him that moral support, tell him that no, Mr. President, don't worry, everything will be fine as time goes by. No one did that. All these things end up destroying Zuma. And when all this was happening, on the other side of the ANC, life was moving like normal. That is how you guys saw Jacob Zuma end up also one day to show it now out there in the world that I'm having a personal problem with President Ramaphosa. The moment when he decided to appear in the Nazareth Conference Center where the ANC, they were taking their 55th Congress, during the time when President Ramaphosa was busy giving the speech. And as we all know that if the head of the state or the president have arrived in a certain place and start giving the speech, no one is allowed to be behaving like they are the authority above him. But we all saw how Zuma appeared there with his supporters who had to interrupt the speech of President Ramaphosa by start singing different songs and asking President Ramaphosa, what have you done to Jacob Zuma? This already, it was a moment when the ANC, they're supposed to be thinking on how to solve this problem, to find a proper way to make peace with Jacob Zuma, because looking at it, things they were no longer the same. Instead of doing that, they failed to have that spirit of Ubuntu, a spirit of humiliation, humility. Instead, they choose to humiliate President Zuma. And since then, things were no longer the same. That is the moment when Jacob Zuma start now thinking of the election of 2024. What do I need to do? Am I going to vote for this ANC of President Cyril Ramaphosa? Am I going to campaign for this ANC of for the President Ramaphosa? So that is the moment when Zuma start now coming up with all these ideas. Unfortunately, again, the ANC, they failed to understand the message beyond all this. For them, they were like, no, it won't do nothing. It won't mean nothing. So that is how Zuma came and announced this political party. Now, he had announced this political party. The first people who took him to court, that was the ANC. The reason being, oh no, we are taking Zuma to court because the MK is not a political party. It is a movement within the ANC. The MK, it is a movement. Therefore, if Zuma wants to have political party, he can go and create his own political party and give it some other name and not something that which belongs to the ANC. On the side of Zuma, Zuma is like, no, this is a movement. It can be led by anyone within the ANC. After all, I'm still an ANC member. They start competing. And that was inside the court. Zuma ended up winning. But that was not all. We sleep and wake up in one morning just to find out that no, this time is not the ANC taking Jacob Zuma to court, but this time we are talking about the IEC taking Jacob Zuma to court. Then we're like, okay, wait a second. The IEC, isn't it the IEC supposed to be independent electoral commission, something like that? Something that's supposed not to be taking side at all? Why is the IEC taking Jacob Zuma to court? What do they have to benefit from all this? Because according to their reasons, they were saying that they took Jacob Zuma to court because he's not qualified to be running as one of the candidates in this election. Then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, whether they are right or not. But don't you think that there's something fishy here? Why it can't be other political party, for example, like DA, which we know it is the enemy number one of Jacob Zuma. They've been fighting Zuma inside the court. They've opened a lot of cases against Jacob Zuma. Isn't it these are the rightful people to launch this kind of complaint against Jacob Zuma? So why is it the IEC taking this kind of reaction against Jacob Zuma? That is when everyone start opening up their eyes. That no, it does not make sense. The IEC is supposed to be in the middle, in the center. But now they're trying to fight an individual. What do they have to gain or win from all this? That moment, that is when things now, the whole things change. And the moment that Zuma starts appearing inside the court in order for him to defend himself about on how he's been arrested, and he came out, he respects everything, well, The more the IEC keep on defending and trying to destroy Jacob Zuma, well, that was actually something which was busy making them campaign for Jacob Zuma, because everyone who did not want to pay attention to what was going on with Zuma, they start now understanding, like, okay, why are them doing this? Why are them taking Jacob Zuma to court? This old man, like, is about 3 feet to leave this world. Why are they making him suffer like this? So everyone who did not pay attention to Jacob Zuma's life, especially politically, they start now loving the guy. They're like, no, this is not fair. And they thought they were succeeding with their mission, because later on we all saw how the constitution came and give their final decision, which cancelled Jacob Zuma from running into this election. And when all this happened, on the other side of the ANC, for them, they were like, okay, well done. What next? They were hoping that not everything would go in their favor. You know, before these elections, we all predicted that the ANC will be below 50%. And when we're talking about below 50%, because we knew that there was no way that President Ramaphosa with the ANC will be able to gain at least 45, 47%. But one thing we forgot, or we did not see it coming, we did not know that someday we'll wake up and find out that no, the ANC actually, they are not only below 50%, but they are standing at 40%. To make even things worse, they lost the majority for the first time in the history of the ANC in the parliament. You guys, you listened yesterday in the video I played for you, Julius Malema, in his press conference, saying that no, it was the dream of the EFF, as he had promised a couple of years ago, saying that we will eat this ANC slow by slow. Yes, it was Julius Malema saying that they'll finish ANC small by small. The ANC that used to come out with 98% or 80 something percent or 70 something percent during the time of Thabo Mbeki, the percentage keep on dropping. And Julius Malema, according to him, was thought that no, it was a very good idea for the ANC to be drop this, because the person who came and make things even more easy for them is the MK of Jacob Zuma, when they came and they just scrapped all the small points out. So you can tell already that this was something that the ANC never see coming. They never see it coming. Now, how is Jacob Zuma revenging to these people now? When I'm talking about these people, I'm referring to the ANC, President Cyril Ramaphosa, the IEC. Well, yesterday, you also, former President Jacob Zuma, he came and announced in the media saying that he's rejecting these results and he boycotts these elections. So what does he suggest? Jacob Zuma suggests two things. Number one, he wants for the country to relearn these elections, like they have to start from zero. He also wants, if that's not the case, he prefer for everyone to start like recounting the votes. So when they have to start recounting the votes, then it's going to make even things more easy for the MK. Because according to Jacob Zuma, he's saying that these elections or this result that we are seeing, that the ICE they are about to announce, it is being tricked. Not only him. We are talking about 24 more political parties who have joined Jacob Zuma. They're boycotting this election and calling for revolt to take place. Now, why are they doing this? Why is Jacob Zuma believing that this election is being tricked? Well, it's for the simple reason. Not long ago, I just explained to you what the ANC they have done to Jacob Zuma that pushed Jacob Zuma to even go open another political party. I also explained to you not long ago the relationship or the conflict which is ongoing between President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of the country and president of the ANC with former President Jacob Zuma. Proof to that, Jacob Zuma even once took President Cyril Ramaphosa to court, accusing him, saying that he's not doing his job as the head of the state. Because according to him, or according to the constitution of this country, President Ramaphosa is supposed to do something or say something about Jacob Zuma's case, giving him that humility as the former president, which he failed to do so. So you can tell already that the relationship between these two leaders is not there as we expected it to be. And these are the same people who came and took former President Jacob Zuma to court. The ANC took Jacob Zuma to court. The IEC took Jacob Zuma to court. Now, these are the same people, after removing Zuma from this election, these are the same people who are coming out, the same IEC who's coming up with the result, telling you that no, Zuma is number 3 with about 15%, 14.6%, if I'm not mistaken. And the ANC is number 1. So Zuma is a politician because they always say that show me your friend so that I can tell who you are. They know each other, these people. It's not by mistake, according to me, of course, according to me. It's not by mistake Zuma is rejecting this election result. If Jacob Zuma is rejecting this result, it's because there is something wrong somewhere there. As I said at the beginning of this video, it does not make sense for the MK with Jacob Zuma to boycott these elections and reject everything when they are number 3 in this election. This is supposed to be a very big news for them. We all saw when Julius Malema with the EFF, they came out in their first election that they participate as number 3. We all saw that was a very big motivation for them to fight even more. But how come Jacob Zuma, as number 3, is rejecting everything and asking for them to restart everything from zero? Trust me, as a politician, as this old man is, he knows very well what happened. He's well aware he might be having some confidential information or proof that shows that these elections, it was tricked some places. It's not that he is the winner of these elections, because even in his words, we did not listen Jacob Zuma saying somewhere that, no, look, according to what we're having, the result we're having in our possession, I'm the winner or blah, blah. No, he did not say so. But he simply say, we need to revote again. Why? Because he believes that the result which the IEC is representing to the people of South Africa right now is not the right result. Proof to that. Who's sponsoring the IEC, like when it comes to the internet and everything? Telecom. Telecom, which we all know that is one of the best network in South Africa, especially when it comes to the public manufacturers and the different places. We all know that even the network called by the name of RAIN They are also renting to telecom, whether it is Vodacom, whether it is MTN. All these people, they are renting from telecom because telecom seem to have like something like a satellite. Now, can the IEC explain to people of South Africa how possible was it that their system have to be dropped down, where the system which everyone they could be able to see how the result was coming in, and the next things, the dashboard just went off. When it comes back, or when the system gets back online, they are showing you guys a certain result, showing you the ANC leading. So Jacob Zuma is not a fool when he's rejecting this result. As I said again, the position which the MK with Jacob Zuma they are having right now, it is a good news for most of politicians out there, because already it shows that they will be having seat in the parliament. They will be having a word to say in most of metros, municipalities. They will be all over. And they are the game changer actually in this coalition that the ANC will have to find some partners in order for them to have majority in the parliament. But here comes Jacob Zuma is like, no. Us we're not gonna take it, this one, we're rejecting it. Of course, it's because the man is well informed or is in possession of certain evidence which prove to him that no, the elections or the result that we are seeing is not the right result. Proof to that, see yesterday, Jacob Zuma, he called for the cancellation of this result. He launched a complaint, not only him, but alongside with about 24, 25 political parties who have also launched their complaints to the IEC. We were all expecting that now the IEC have about 2 hours from now in order for them to come and address these matters. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Instead, the IEC, when they came back, they are confirming that they are going to announce the final result of the win of this election. At the same time, we saw Fikile Mbalula, who came as well. Fikile Mbalula came as well to come and give a warning to former President Jacob Zuma. Considering what Jacob Zuma have said yesterday as a threat of violence in the country. So Fikile Mbalula, as we all know him, is one of, he came as well to tell former President Jacob Zuma that he better not even think of that. If he try to raise up a violence in the country, you will have to face the state. Now, what will happen next? Now that Jacob Zuma have launched his complaint, which I doubt that the IEC will accept, because the IEC, we already know that these are the people who've been fighting with Jacob Zuma for the reason that only them knew, not me and you. So this IEC, I don't think them giving up on their plan and their decision just to please someone called Jacob Zuma, the man whom they have took inside the court. Jacob Zuma at the same time, I don't see him also accepting the IEC result because he knew already what are their intentions. These are the same people who took him to court. You see politics. Thank you, Rainier Black. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. So Jacob Zuma, I don't see him also giving up on his decision in order for him to please the IEC, because he knows already that the IEC, according to Jacob Zuma, not me, he knows already that the IEC they don't like Jacob Zuma. And the IEC, they prefer to work with the ANC and not Jacob Zuma. So all these things, it has something to do. Mohamed Musa said Ramaphosa have to step down and what? Well, this thing of Ramaphosa stepping down, Fikile Mbalula in his press conference today, he said that forget about it. Forget about it. Ramaphosa is not going anywhere. Now here, he reminds me of back in days, the way he used to sound about Jacob Zuma. This is the same man. He's sounding the same way he used to sound about Jacob Zuma. When people were singing the song saying that Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall, Zuma must fall. So they kind of like supporting the people who are there to protect their interest. Because the same language that he used to say about Jacob Zuma is the same language he's talking about President Ramaphosa today. So he said it that no, look, there is no way that President Ramaphosa is going to step down because he was elected by the party to be the president of the ANC, and the ANC sent him to represent the ANC, in the national election. So now that the President Ramaphosa have to come out as the president of the country, there is no way any political party or any person can come and call him to step down. Well, that's what Fikile Mbalula said, but us, we're not going to say much because we know that there will be serious drama. Mark my words, guys. I'll remind you of this day. There'll be serious drama for this mandate of President Ramaphosa. I'll tell you why. Already in his first mandate, we saw how he was cornered by the EFF and the DA in the parliament about this Palapala and what was Palapala saga thing. And until today, President Ramaphosa have not answered to the questions which they call him in the parliament. He was protected by the majority of the ANC. Now, do you have any idea what will happen now that the ANC, they are no longer having that majority? The ANC, they are having 40% of votes. They don't have majority in the parliament. They are having about 88 seats in the parliament out of 100 and something. So, this simply means to say that whoever is going to be in the coalition with the President Ramaphosa, whether it is the DA, whether it is the EFF, let's forget about the MK, because according to them, they say they don't want anything to do with the ANC, not the ANC, but with the ANC of President Ramaphosa. So, whoever is going to be in coalition with them in the parliament, if any member of the parliament who's in the opposition side raise up another motion of saying that no, there's something which took place in 2022, 2023 about Palapala saga, and we want President of the Republic of South Africa to come and give the answer. Trust me, if they have to go again for the vote in order for them to decide whether President Ramaphosa can come to the parliament and answer or not, trust me, those people who will be in the coalition with the ANC, they'll change their bag. Even if they do it, because we know this is what they're doing these days. They don't want people to vote in secret anymore. They'll be like, no, they'll be kind of like, let's vote in public so that we can see each one, how they're voting and everything. So we shall wait and see what will happen. But there is many possibility ways that to make President Ramaphosa to not work that easy as we think. Because if it happens, for example, like They don't have the EFF on their side. Wow, things are not going to be that easy. Or even if they have the EFF and then they don't have the DA on their side. Well, guys, I don't know what will happen. But the main point in all this is just to say that the ANC should have seen all this coming. Ignoring someone such as former President Jacob Zuma was not going to help at all. Ignoring someone such as Jacob Zuma with his influence within the ANC was a very big mistake. And now that the voters of the ANC have dropped below 50%, well, I don't know what will happen in the next elections that will be taking place. Because now the ANC, they have only one option: to prove people wrong, to make people of South Africa that no, we did not make mistake by voting for you guys, to try all the best to finish up all the necessary needs that they could not be able to do all this time. This other day, I think you guys saw that video I posted here. I went on the streets trying to ask people questions, what they're expecting from the new elected president to do for them. And you could see people repeating the same thing, which all of us we know. If you have not watched that video, you can go and watch it. So I think the only solution to all this, even if they don't achieve to do everything 100%, let them do the necessary things. For example, like the way they managed to stop load shedding so far, let's hope it's going to remain like this. Then they can start now addressing other matters that are concerning the nation, create more jobs. If they do everything right, I believe they'll pick up again from where they left, and they can go back to the same ANC that we know. But above all, they must not make the ANC become like a personal or family, a certain kind of a family business whereby you just want to be there, you want to be rich yourself, you want to be, like you just want to be there. No, I think it's gonna be more good if they try to reconcile with everyone within the ANC. Yes, everyone whom they feel like no, these people they have kind of like no working again the way they're supposed to be working as ANC members. They should try to find a proper way to have a proper reconciliation with all these people. That is the only way can make them go back to the same ANC that we used to know. But as for the MK with President Jacob Zuma, guys, tell me something even through the comments. Do you think President Jacob Zuma will still gonna be member of the ANC? Because according to me, I think that is impossible. Yeah, I think the moment when Jacob Zuma had to announce that he's no longer going to vote for the ANC, he's going to campaign for another political party. For me, I think it is just something that he had prepared for. He had made up his mind to have his own political party. And now that the ANC, they failed to come out at least with 50%, and the MK end up coming out of this election as the winner. That's according to me. I don't know about you, but they end up coming out as the winner in terms of a political party which was created about 4 months ago. Yet they managed to take the place of other big political parties in South Africa. That's not something that's supposed to be ignored. That is a very big sign of showing that there is a future there. They took some of the big metro in the country, it shows that there's a future there. Because if that grace was made for everyone to be that big, I think Operation Dudula as well, they are now political parties in it. But yet they could not even get to one seat. Besides that, we have PA. They are also like, they've been there for some time. We're expecting to see a big growth number. They fail as well. So there are a couple of political parties, even this Zanzi, what, they fail as well. So what Jacob Zuma managed to do so far, it is a life opportunity. As Julius Malema said that Zuma is making it at the age of 82 years. And if Zuma make it at the age of 82 years, Malema believes that he can also still make it because he still have more years. Plus the men still under 50 years old. So anyway, I don't see Jacob Zuma going back to the ANC. The ANC, what they should do right now, they should just have the courage and come out, because Jacob Zuma did put some trap for them, and they follow for it. Because in the interview I play for you guys, you heard him saying very well that no, I started this political party when I was within the ANC. For the fact that the ANC, they could not see it or could not find out about all this, which means the men already know how his future in politics looks like. He went out, but yet he's still claiming himself as the member of the ANC. In other words, it's kind of like, no, I don't want to chase myself from the ANC. I'm waiting for you guys to go in your meetings and come up with your result and chase me or spell me as you did with S. Magashule. From there, at least, the history will note that Jacob Zuma was expelled from the ANC. So that is politics for you guys. And as I said again, I don't see Jacob Zuma going back, because the reason being is that the man is a leader, and we can't ignore that. He was born a leader, and he's surviving because of that. After everything that he went through, or after everything that he have done, after all the bad things that has been said about him, yet he's still standing, yet he's still able to influence people to go and vote for him. Not even for him, but to go and vote for a political party which he had asked people to vote for. And are you going to tell me that is something that we should be ignoring? I don't think so. In the world of people, in the world of, there is no small enemy. Everyone are big over there. And Jacob Zuma have demonstrated that. So you must be fooling yourself to not see all this or accept it. Well, guys, I think that would be all for today. It was very important we talk about all this. It was very important we get to make you understand the kind of revenge that former President Jacob Zuma is taking on the ANC and its leadership, because the many believe that is in the right position. We shall wait and see what will happen after the IEC had announced their result, final result. And then we'll be back again here with more analysis. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video until now. Don't leave without you doing us this big favor. Please, before you leave, give us your thumbs up, like this video in your numbers. We'll really do appreciate that. It is a way of you also encouraging what we do here. This is a platform that we had created for you so that we can take a moment like this and sit down and have a conversation regarding matters that are happening in our country and around the world as well. So if you find something beneficial and you want to catch more from our site, well, it's very simple. You just have to hit that subscribe button subscribe to the channel so that whenever we are live here, you'll be able to join this big family of Cool Bars TV. That will be all for now. Continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.